Hi there, everyone. Welcome to another one of my album reviews, and I'm actually going to do a 3-for-1 in this review instead of doing all these individually. And what we are talking about is unofficial Metallica releases. I did a big thing of the singles. I thought that was kind of fun to do. These are compilations of stuff that Metallica has never released. Let's start with this one, for example. This here is Metallica performing basically the original album. But this is not just any Metallica. This is the original Metallica lineup of Lars Ulrich, James Hetfield, Dave Mustaine, and Ron McGovney. Ron McGovney was the bassist before Cliff Burton. You got the introduction. Now, I hate the way that this is labeled because it shows that there's 8 tracks on here. There isn't 8 tracks on here. There's 7 tracks on here. The introduction, they didn't mix it properly for the CD production. You're supposed to put it as a separate CD track. They didn't. They tacked it on to the beginning of Hit the Lights. So what you got on here is you've got Hit the Lights, Seek and Destroy, Motor Breath, Phantom Lord, The Mechanics, Jump in the Fire, and Metal Militia. Those are the tracks that make up this album. Now, you're like, The Mechanics? Okay, why is there a Megadeth song on here? The Mechanics is the original version of the Four Horsemen. Now, if you're watching this, you already know that most likely, okay? Dave Mustaine wrote the lyrics originally for the song, and he wrote a song about working in a garage. That's why they called it The Mechanics. Metallica wanted to use the song when they were recording the Kill 'Em All album, but because Dave Mustaine wrote the original lyrics and it was basically his song, in order to keep it their song and be able to keep some rights going to it, they made it the Four Horsemen. I like the lyrics better to the Four Horsemen. I like the music, actually, to the Mechanics slightly better. It's got more of an edge to it. This has definitely got Dave Mustaine's lead guitar lines all over it. The production, the sound quality is kind of shite. It's a shame that it doesn't sound better than it does. But it's really kind of cool to hear all these classics done in the way they were originally intended before they went through and did Kill 'Em All and had Kirk Hammett put his signature all over it. I love Kirk. I love what Kirk did. I'm not going to say anything bad about Kirk. It's just really cool to hear it different on here. And I'll be honest, if you ever go watch Metallica's 30th anniversary party thing, you go watch them when they do Jump in the Fire live in there. You can hear Dave, and you can hear it on here too, man. And Dave just opens up in a way that's just insane. It's awesome. If you can run across this album, it's not an album you're going to want to listen to regularly. I will tell you that. Now, they try and tell you that this album is a live album. It's not. The band has come out and said this is just, what makes it sound live is actually just the regular hits from the recording that it was processed on. It was done like basically on a 2-track recorder or something like that. Basically 2 microphones in the garage and the band going to town or something like that. I think that's what I read the story on that later on, because Metallica actually ended up suing over this. I don't even know if you can find this album anywhere anymore because it had to get pulled. There was huge issues over this one. I'm happy I picked it up. And the best part is I found it when I worked at the Evil Corporation in the home entertainment department. I found it in there. It was fantastic. It was a great find. Moving on from there. So this one's gotten beat up over the years, this album cover, because I really haven't taken care of it properly. Because this album actually got brought around with me a lot. It's a well-traveled album. And this is Metallica Unplugged. Now, if you watched when I was talking about the singles, I talked about Helpless Unplugged. And that's actually track 2 on here. Awesome. Now, this is recorded at a few different events. Tracks 1 through 8 were live at the Bridge Benefit, Mountain View, California, 19th of October, 1997. The whole thing is unplugged. It's sweet, sweet, sweet. Then you get into track 9, recorded at Virgin FM, London Studios, 97. Track 10, Later Show, London, 1997. Track 11, Later Show, London, 1996. November 1996. Both of those were November. One was 97, one was 96. And then you've got tracks 12 and 13, recorded from Alexandra Palace, London, 14th of November, 1996. Now, the last three tracks on here are not unplugged. They are your basic live versions, which is kind of cool. So let's get into this. First off, you got Low Man's Lyric opening this up. I know people talk shit about Low Man's Lyric, and I know it is one of the most despised songs in the Metallica repertoire. I love it. I've always loved Low Man's Lyric. I think it's a fantastic song. James, when he really wants to do something from the heart, he really does it up nice. Now, I hate Nothing Else Matters because that just sounds like, bullshit. But Low Man's Lyric, there's a beautiful depth to it that it just really, really spectacular to me. Helpless is awesome, especially live. Getting to watch Lars play it live, I actually picked up a couple tricks from Lars, and one was starting to use mallets, soft mallets specifically, on drums to change my sound. And I still to this day still love using mallets on drums. I prefer playing with. I've got these foam mallets I like to use from Headhunter that I prefer playing over top of regular sticks almost any day of the week. I get such an awesome sound out of them. After that, we go into Tuesday's Gone. I don't like the Lynyrd Skynyrd version. I don't like the Metallica version off of Garage Inc. I don't like this version either. I just don't like Tuesday's Gone. And the worst part is Jerry Cantrell's on this song. And I would love to hear Jerry Cantrell on much better, cooler songs. I really wish they would have done Simple Man instead of Tuesday's Gone. I think it would have been so much better for Metallica. Then you got Poor Twisted Me. Oh, Poor Twisted Me. I dig this song. I dig the acoustic version too. It's really cool to have an acoustic version of Poor Twisted Me. It's one of the very first songs actually off of the Load album that I really truly got into that wasn't a huge single or anything like that. Then you go into Fade to Black. I enjoy Fade to Black. It's kind of like One to me. It's very, very kind of horribly depressing. And it's not a good depressing, or it's not a good kind of heart on your sleeve kind of song like with Low Man's Lyric. It's just kind of really suicidal depressing kind of song. Then you got the Four Horsemen acoustic. Okay, so I got to see Helpless, the Four Horsemen, and I believe Poor Twisted Me when I saw them. And I haven't gotten to the last song that I saw them do. Because I think they did those 4 songs. Or maybe It's Electric they put in there too. I don't remember. When I saw them on the... no, they weren't doing that yet. So it would have been Helpless. It would have been Four Horsemen. I believe Poor Twisted Me. They also did Last Caress Green Hell. Or not Green Hell, they just did Last Caress. Which is coming up. And Four Horsemen acoustic is awesome. Holy shit. I would really love to hear a good studio recorded version of the Four Horsemen. It would... Realistically, I'd love to hear Metallica take a few of the classic songs and do a proper acoustic album, with renditions, or even a double album. I would buy that. Because these are really cool. And I really think it's something they should do. Even if it's just a special record store day, special promotion that they do it for, limited release or whatever. I absolutely should do it. Not too limited of a release, though, because I definitely want to make sure I get my hands on one. You got Nothing Else Matters, which, if you're going to pick a song to do acoustically, Nothing Else Matters is a good song to do acoustically. I don't like the song, but the acoustic rendition is really nice. It is. And then it finishes off with Last Caress. I got something to say. And the way that they play it and the chugging and whatnot, it's just really cool, man. It's got such a great vibe. And the great vibe on it definitely feels a little more almost in touch with Glenn Danzig with his crooning of the song. That's how this feels. It feels like it's a lot more crooning. Then you get another rendition of Nothing Else Matters. Okay, so this is when this album takes a bit of a downturn because who needs two versions of Nothing Else Matters? Especially two acoustic versions, you know? Like it's the same song basically, just redone again on here. Now, is it the exact same? No, there's like a 20-second difference between them. So it can't be the exact same. After that, you go into Mama Said, another song that is perfect for playing live, acoustically. Brilliant, great. I absolutely loved it when they played it live. I enjoyed every second of it. I thought it was fantastic. Now we finish off with 3 live electric songs, which I don't know why they decided to put these on here, but you got Wasting My Hate, which is a fantastic song live. The energy and power of that live is fantastic, and I've never heard it, I've never heard it captured properly on any live recording I've heard. When I saw them play it live on the Load tour, it was amazing. Like I had a music gasm. It was just way better than even listening to the album itself. But I've never been able to find a live version that captures the sound, the intensity, and everything else of when they played Wasting My Hate live. And I was hoping it would sound like that on here, but no. Then you got Last Caress, again, now it's electric, whatever. And then they finish with So What. And, alright. If you can find this one, it's definitely an interesting listen. It's a total bootleg. I don't know if I'd recommend it, but it's definitely for the Metallica fans. And like I said, listening to that makes me wish they would do a proper, 100% proper acoustic album. And I think I'd even like them to go as far as when they do the acoustic album to have Newsted and Trujillo both on there, and not necessarily on the same songs, maybe even on different songs, but I really would love to hear it because Jason on there is awesome, and Rob is an amazing bassist, but his style of playing for acoustic, I don't know 100%. Alright, last one we're going to cover. This was a really cool find as well. This is also a boot. Garage Days Part 2. Digital mastered new version, 6 different tracks. I've heard most of these tracks in other variations on other albums out there, bootlegs, fan put together albums, stuff like that. My buddy Matt Kell had one that was specifically called Sucking My Love, which I'll get to on here. Diamond Head. Talked about it a couple times. Alright, so on here you got the Mechanics. Now, I believe the Mechanics is the same version that's on here. I'm not 100% sure, but they sound pretty close. On here, though, it says that it's a March 82 original version of the Four Horsemen. Performance was recorded during a live practice in Ron McGovney's garage 2 months after the group was formed. So I am honestly pretty positive it's the same one as this one. Then it goes into Killing Time, which was recorded during the same sessions. Metallica's been doing that cover for that long, and it's a great cover, man. I really enjoy Killing Time. Then you go on to Let It Loose, also from the same time. I understand why they stopped doing Let It Loose. Let It Loose is one of those songs that it's nice, it's easy, but it's not one of those songs that you want to do. You want to hear regularly. I do like that they put the notes on here because they do put March 82 recorded during the same garage sessions as the previous mentioned songs. One of the rarest Metallica songs in existence. It's never been performed live or recorded as a demo. The song was originally done by Savage on the album Loose and Lethal. This track has never been released on any Metallica LP, CD, or single. Probably because it would be with Mustaine and McGovney. Then we go on to Sucking My Love. This song, I've already talked about it intensely when I covered the Diamond Head album. I love Sucking My Love. It is a great song. No one's 100% sure whether it's about vampires or whether it's about, a little oral pleasure on the magic rod. Sorry, guys. Uh, Once again, recorded same sessions. So, not with Cliff. Bit of a shame. But Ron McGovney's bass on here is still pretty good. It really is. Metallica has never done a proper recording of this song either. I really wish they would, because it's one of two Diamond Head songs off the Lightning to the Nations album they haven't done. Lightning to the Nations is the other one that they've not put on an official release. And then we get to a song that I have mentioned multiple times before, The Prince. Because Metallica's been covering The Prince that long. That is how huge of a Diamond Head influence there was on Metallica from the beginning. And it's a good song. If you like it. I've never been a fan of The Prince. Never. Then you got Damage Case, Stone Dead Forever, Too Late, Too Late, The Chase is Better Than the Catch, and We Are the Road Crew. These are all from, based on the notation, the same sessions as this one. The only difference is this, I believe the notes say it was recorded on the 13th of December. Yes, December 13th, 1995. These versions were all recorded on December 14th, 1995. So they are not the same recordings, and they definitely have a different production sound to them. But what's really cool is you get The Chase is Better Than the Catch and We Are the Road Crew. Both are awesome songs, and once again, Metallica should do better renditions of them. I do believe, let's see here, does it say? I think there were a couple other songs that were done. Yeah, it says that there were 6 songs by Metallica. Yeah, it says that there were 6 songs that Metallica have never performed live. And I believe the other one was Ace of Spades. Glad that's not on here. I'm not a big fan of Ace of Spades. But having this is awesome. So 4 of the 6 that are here, not so great. But once again, The Chase is Better Than Catch and We Are the Road Crew. Awesome. Then you got So What, which was recorded at Wembley in 93. Am I Evil and Helpless, which both Diamond Head songs, still doing them years later. This was recorded in 93 as well. This next one, great recording. London Dungeon, Last Caress, Green Hell, all together with Glenn Danzig. Recorded in Chicago in 94. Awesome. Awesome to hear all of them done together. Then you got Rapid Fire, performed with Rob Halford in 94. Not the Judas Priest song I'd like to hear Metallica do, but it was pretty cool. I'd like to hear them actually do some real Judas Priest, a couple really nice studio covers. And then finally, you've got Remember Tomorrow, which is actually only a snippet of the intro. Metallica does get around to actually doing a full version of Remember Tomorrow, which I will get around to talking about soon, because I do have plans to cover the album that can be found on. All right, folks, I'm going to wrap this up here. Just wanted to talk about those. This one, if you could get your hands on it, that's pretty cool. Just for Sucking My Love, The Chase is Better Than Catch, We Are the Road Crew. Those alone are really worth it. To hear the old version of Killing Time, that's cool. Let It Loose, so-so. This one is another one. Those are my thoughts. Those are my views. This one, it depends how hardcore you want to be. Let me know what you think. That's what the comment section is for. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. There's a link to Patreon as well. Peace, love, take care.